we are currently here with one of our students, Rajbir, and we are in his property that he doesn't own, but he makes money from it through the rent-to-rent model. We're here to kind of pick his brains and ask him how he secured this property and how he can do it. Tell us what the rent price on the property is.
1.9k, which when we were looking Midlands based, it was a lot. Then when you look at where we are, we've got the sea 30 minutes away. We've got a hospital 5-minute walk up there. So for the long-term bookings, that was a big factor into it. There's building projects, not local, but there's a lot of demand here because down in Hove, there's a lot of apartments being built, a lot of works are coming in. The demand was there for us, and we just took the risk.
Yeah, everyone always says, what's the best rent price? Like, what rent should I be paying? Oh my god, that rent is so high. But you can't say 1.9 is so high without knowing, okay, how many bedrooms do you have? What are the facilities in the property? What's nearby, outside? Like, what's the location? You have a hospital you mentioned nearby. Like, all these things they factor in. And what's the average nightly rate? What is it?
The lowest, 140 or 50, all the way up into Christmas. Here in the summer, it just goes through the roof. When we were doing like the deal analysis and make sure everything's stacked, I asked people around again and they said, yeah, look, it might seem low now because of the months we were looking around, but like you need to consider when it does come to summertime here by the ocean, this place, especially like we looked at similar like 2-bed, 1-bath, we got nicer facilities, we got a newer kitchen, newer bathroom, and it does look a lot nicer than other similar ones.
What's their nightly rates?
So at the best, what we saw was about 200, 220. We think we can get 230 for the case, and then it's about £10 extra every
Yeah, but it all adds up. Today, of course, we came, we knocked on the door, you opened the door for us, etc. Is that the way that you normally greet guests? Like, what's the systems like? How are you doing that right now?
We are planning not to be here, hopefully, because we live 3 hours away. So I don't want to drive down every time someone comes. It's been a nightmare. We have a ring doorbell outside. We have the notification when people come in and out. We do have a lockbox that we want to trial first. We want to switch to key nest because we've heard from the cleaners, like we spoke to the cleaning team that we're going to use, get it personalised as well the way we want to do it. I mean, you can't quite see it now, but like we're going to have like, you know, confectioneries out, chocolates, this and that. Like we can give them a nice little custom list and they can do it the way we want to do it without us being
So then, tell us about this room.
We sort of came in and we looked at what we had.
It was grey walls and grey carpets.
It was grey, everything was grey. It was grey, the place was grey, it was raining, it was just grey everywhere, it was depressing. So we came in, right, we're like, first thing, we're going to paint everything. And this is where we went wrong because we did it ourselves and we don't know what we're doing. And I remember we had a call with you guys on like one of our, I think one of the Thursday calls. And then you guys like, oh, how's it all going? And we're like, we were in the garden and we're like, yeah, we're painting. And we have been for the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, okay, where's like the outsourcing? Where's the professionals? We took so long doing this. And it was the first time we did everything. Everything we've done here has been the first time. But what we did was, we were like, look, let's not overcomplicate it. We spoke to my auntie's interior designer. And then she was like, don't overcomplicate it, just keep it simple. You've gone white to brighten the place up. Arjun took control of all like the building stuff, like all like the furniture, he mainly did. We got this actually from another essay. They were opening another one around the corner. And it's actually a double bed. Well, not a double bed, it's like it slides out. But
that's great.
Yeah, but the way we've done it is we pushed it against the wall because we can technically get 5 people in here. But it's not comfortable enough for 5, if you get what I mean, because we want to have that long-term stay. And again, this came from us speaking to other people who've done the same thing, and they said like, yeah, you can get 5 heads down here, but you've got 1 bathroom, you've got a table that's only so big, like it's a flat, like it's a 2-bed, there's a 2-bed upstairs. It's not a lot of space. So if we have to, we can have the cleaner slightly move the bed forward. It can come out. We can get other people there.
That's good. At least you have the option, but you can also tuck it away.
That's how it is right now. So we want it for 4 because I think it's more comfortable for 4. But if we need 5, we can take 5 in there.
You're bumping up the nightly rates even more than. I bet you the Hilton down the road, the Premier Inn down the road. This is probably the average hotel room
Size,
yeah. So I think honestly, don't be too bugged down about the size of the room because what you have in this entire apartment is probably better than what most hotels would have.
Yeah, and that's how we've been thinking last week, because up until that point it was like, oh god, it was a stress of not doing it before. But then when you see it all come together and you're like, it's miles better than what it was before. Yeah, we're really proud of this room.
I think it's great. For your first property as well, like you can only imagine like what you guys are gonna come up with after like 5 properties.
This is our living room.
Oh my god, you must be proud of this.
We are. It started off as 2 air mattresses and a dodgy TV that didn't work there. Yeah, so that's how it started
So
off.
you did have a TV, but you got rid of it?
No, that was my TV from home.
Okay,
So
okay.
we bought this one for the property. I bought my little one that just goes on my setup, and I go, we want something. And then the Wi-Fi wasn't here, so we didn't think about that. So it was useless. I'm really happy with the way this one turned out because again, it was grey, it was boring, and then we were stood there and we were arguing over the colour. We had like I think 2 of your properties on our phones, and we had like another one, and I had Pinterest, and we're like, what we're gonna do. So we decided over rock paper scissors, and it was blue.
You can't go wrong with blue. It's like girls love the colour blue and men love the colour blue. Like you can't go wrong. So this is great. I really like it. How much did it cost to set this room up? And how did you go about?
Off the top of my head, roughly, I think this room was about. It was on the expensive end. It was about £700-800. The reason why is because some of the stuff we didn't want to cheap out on. So this sofa was new, so it was from IKEA, and we wanted to be thrifty. But then we had a bit of a problem with our finances, like our bank just closed it for a little bit. There was a problem, someone tried to do fraud in the bank.
No way.
So it slowed everything down. But then we also thought, we want to charge that nightly rate, we want to charge a higher price. The main stuff like a TV, so this is a sofa bed by the way, so this is another person can sleep on there. We wanted them to be solid and secure, so we just said, we're just going to pay the price. Everything else, Facebook Marketplace, range, Denham, and little stores we could just find along the way.
How much was the entire apartment to furnish?
So it was completely unfurnished. I think we spent, I think it was about, just under £3 grand.
That's really good. You have been very resourceful with the little money that you guys probably had to start when you guys started off, and putting it into this property and like making it into what it currently is right now. That's great.
We were missing the table, the chairs, we didn't have a rug, and everything was last minute because we wanted to get this place going as soon as possible. So I messaged a woman on there about the table. I went over to her place and she was moving literally like a mile away that way. And she had everything. She gave us the rug, she gave us the chair, she was like, we don't need it anymore.
You got a furniture pack out of her.
Literally like everything, like the 3-4 things that we needed left, she had them getting rid of.
How did you actually come across this deal?
So this one was through a sourcer. So we've been going to like networking events, just property groups, and then we've sort of got numbers from people, got added into group chat. We had a potential one in Cov because that's where we wanted to start out, and then we looked at it and it wasn't the same in person as it was online, and it wasn't like the numbers weren't quite adding up.
That's the most important thing about a lot of people are thinking, hey, like I want to get this service accommodation, I'll just go to a deal sourcer, but a lot of deal sourcers actually aren't very genuine. And they just want to get a quick buck, right? They always want to make some quick money. So you had the deal analysis, behind the scenes you've done that, you understand it, so that deal sourcer can't really, mug you off.
We knew that whether it be through ourselves or like a deal source that was reputable, like something will eventually come along. And then when it came along, we just made sure we were in the right position to take it.
Coventry to Brighton is about a 3-hour drive, 3-hour train journey. Tell me about that, like how are you going to manage that? Because I know when people hear this, they're going to think in their head, how is that going to work? You're not from Brighton, how are you going to run a business in Brighton?
Like having small systems in place so you're called less. I think honestly, like we know, like especially at the beginning where we are, things are going to go wrong. That's the only thing, that's the main thing I've learned about this whole thing, is that things will go wrong no matter how much you prepare for them. And even if you did, something else will go wrong. So like we've got the systems in terms of like key collection, the cleaning, staying in the property, but if something goes wrong, we will have to travel down, and we want to kind of minimise that as much as possible. So we've been trying to build a power team here, because we kind of left what we started building in the West Midlands, and we thought, oh yeah, we're going to have these people to do it for us, but we had to start fresh and go, you know what, we need somebody just in case something leaks. Just in case this goes wrong, just in case, because you can't cover everything.
It's almost about like not being naive to thinking that things are going to be like a smooth sailing boat, but actually realizing, okay, things are going to happen. How can we prevent it from happening? But also, like, what's the quickest cure?
I think what remote investing does to you, and why it's so important to try it out, is that it makes you feel uncomfortable. And being in a place of feeling uncomfortable, it allows you to grow. So now that you have this property here in Brighton, when you're from Coventry, you're gonna start to feel more comfortable to get properties in different cities. What this means for you is that you have a bigger chance of securing more deals.
Any last words from yourself, Raj?
Get help.
Get help.
Get help. I mean, listen, it's hard. Just find people. Put yourself out there. Don't hide away from people. Like, go out and meet people. Shake as many hands as you can, and then like, you know, sign up for things, go to places, and yeah, you kind of just fall into places a lot easier.